Welcome back to another episode of Who Should You Choose, the video series where I go through the prior videos, questions, and comments and help you with your HUT lineup decisions. Episode 65. I've done 65 of these, my goodness. Today's episode, we have a lot of talk about Team of the Year, BND, those kinds of things. I went through a lot of the questions and comments and kind of picked, again, the ones that have the most likes. I'll always make sure that I include. But if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe with notifications on. Throw your question in the comments section, and then I go through and I pick out a bunch that I can do in about 20 minutes every time. Also, if you're new to the channel, make sure you come check me out live on stream. I go live every single day, essentially. 10:30 a.m. in the morning, we'll do a recap of the prior night's NHL games, and then we'll also record this episode usually. So if you want your question answered on stream or immediately, I can do that for you. And then in the afternoon at about 2:30 after I have lunch, I will we stream in the afternoon all the way up to the content, make the content video. So that being said, let's get into it. Twisted Wrister says, I'm keeping my higher overall BND cards just in case EA comes out with BND champs later on. Quick selling all of my other lower BNDs. Keep the good work sleeves. Go Leafs go. We're getting to the point now where, yeah, B&D cards are just filling our collection, and it's just more of an annoyance than anything else. I mentioned in a prior video that you can throw all of your B&D cards in a lineup, go over to the your team screen and go to manage lineups, create a new lineup, throw all your cards in there, and then do all the sets because it'll allow you to autofill. I was thinking about this, though. A lot of people are saying, bring back the storage sets to store them, but then I thought about it. B&D cards can't be used in sets, so would they even be able to go into the storage set? So what needs to happen is they need to come up with a storage set that allows all cards in game. And I don't know if they can do that from a tech standpoint. Like, I don't know if this might be the issue. Like, honestly, we talk about, like, why isn't this fixed? It might be an issue where if a card is listed as B&D and that card has a rule in it that says can't go into any set, can they create a set that supersedes that without bricking the game? I have no idea. I hope so, but I really feel like they don't have a fix, and they're not going to spend resources fixing it in NHL 25, which is just a disaster. I'm saving all of my higher overall B&Ds. I don't think there will be a champs that will be B&D only or anything like that. I really don't. I think it'll just simply be they'll continue to use B&Ds because they don't want to allow people to have a lot of higher end cards they can trade and impact the economy, which is a joke. Chase says, I love your content, man. Been the most helpful YouTube since I started back in NHL 2020. I've been blessed with the 90 Kyrou tradable. I can create at least one more gallery of greats, and I don't know if I should sell Kyrou to help with Team of the Year and create Hull or something else. Here's how I stand as of now. Couldn't upgrade some all the way. He's got Kyrou, Sorelli, and McDavid, Gartner, Miller, and Backlund, Scheifele, Thornton, Couture. Okay, so I would not go with Hull. I would go with Sakic in your position because you need a winger and a center that could, like, you know what I mean? You don't need a center, but he could play there. You need a winger, and the best one, even though he has 93 faceoffs, is Sakic. That's honestly what I would do. I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would sell Kyrou simply because he's like your number one. And it's a pretty big drop-off to number 2. But you could get 400K for him, but what would you replace him with? If you could make a free MSP by doing your chores and all of that, I would make Hull, sell Kyrou. If you can't, keep Kyrou, make Sakic. Ace Sleeves, Gallery of Grades question. I have 12 86 cards to use for the sets, and I'm having trouble trying to choose which ones. I'm going to make Fleury because I'm a Pens fan. I could make 2 completely free, or make 3 and spend coins, which I have 913,000. I have 87 Frozen Forces McDavid, JT Miller, Nylander, Scheifele. Defense I have a Team Builder Letang, Hedman, Montour, and Werenski. Would like to work in Crosby, Malcolm, and Lemieux at some point. What would you recommend in my situation? Honestly, because you're a Pens fan, you're trying to build a theme team, just have that as your number one rule, right? Like, what should you do? You should grab the players that fit your team makeup. Like Coffee, I believe, is a Penguin, alumni, so maybe make him. But it looks like you're trying to make a theme team, or you're a Pens fan at least. But I don't know if that supersedes everything. In terms of who I would make, X Factor Nylander and 87 Scheifele. Defense I have Letang, Hedman, Montour, Werenski. I would probably make Coffee. Kind of a rant, But Gallery of Greats is a dope event. I don't think it would ruin other events. I'm looking at it as like they are great players, almost like icon cards. I don't disagree with the free ability if you look at it like that. Does it lower the team builders, icons, and supercharge cards? Maybe a little, but in the long run, those cards we chased for will become 99 sometime. I'm one of the people that made Hollow Sundin, so I get this was a slap in the face with these cards. Also, why is no one saying this about the ultimate cover athletes like Hughes, free elite edges with 92 speed at the start of the game, and Jack Hughes to make it snappy? What they need to do is make event cards so close that there is no wrong answer to diversify each team. One last thing, maybe next event will be to change abilities. Like maybe next round of team builders, they'll give 0 AP, just trying to stay positive. Thanks for everything you do. I think that, so something I do want to discuss is that, like, yes, you are right. Even though the free abilities from these event MSPs, it was an overreaction to say that it ruined power up icons because those cards will be 99. It sucks because in terms of value, it's not even close, but they will eventually hit to 99 in August. But still, right? The thing I do enjoy the most about this event is the difficult decision. Like I did my rankings video, and it was like so team dependent. Like, you know what I mean? There was no clear and away number one, in my opinion. Like the centerman, yes, because that offers a unique thing that they can do for the rest of the game. But for the most part, they're so similar. That is what every event should be. It should be not free abilities, but they should be so difficult to choose between. And that's what every card when they give away should be. So, for example, like the Hut Champs card, it shouldn't be one card. It should be either forwards or defensemen. And then you have to pick. And all of those choices are very difficult, right? And it takes some time and effort to make, for the thought process to build those cards for sure. But that's where the effort needs to be from the content team. Hey, Slaves, hope all as well. Which XP collectible set would you recommend doing? I did the 82 overall, the 82 and above set, the whole thing. I pulled some 85s and 86, but mostly I pulled 82s, but that was just what I went with. That one, there's no super valuable one. Who do you think will be the MSPs for the 2000 set? So, this event is supposed to be it mentions Y2K and players born in the year 2000. So, like, I'm just going to do quickly NHL 2000, that would be, or 1999, 2000 leaders. Let's see. In terms of the most goals in that season, Pavel Bure with number 1. That's not happening. Owen Nolan, Tony Amonte, Jaromir Jagr, Correa, Shanahan, Leclerc, Modano. So I could see those. In terms of points, Jaromir Jagr not close. He already has an MSP, so he's probably not getting another one. Bure, Paul Correa, Teemu Solani. Oh my god, that would be sick. My guess is we get Mike Modano for sure. Everyone else I'm looking at is either not in the Alumni Association, like, or the agreements, like Valerie Bure and Pavel Bure. Matt Sundin, could definitely see Matt Sundin getting there. He was a point per game player that year. So that's who I would. That's some of the options I would think of. But that would be cool. Again, I think they need to find a way to regularly upgrade MSP or regularly upgrade icons and things like that. But they also need to give us some fresh cards, right? So, hey, Sleeves, yesterday at Reset, my Axel Sandin Palika got upgraded to a 95 in Hut because he got a goal in the shootout in his last game. He got Stick 'em Up and a +2 stat upgrade. I played a few games with him, and he was unreal. About an hour after the upgrade, EA reverted the changes, and the card is now 93 overall. The Edward Shallow card also got his upgrades for his shootout goals. At the time of this comment, EA hasn't reverted the Shallow card. I don't know how to feel about this. I know EA doesn't count shootout goals, but the IHF does. If EA upgrades a card and releases it to the public, they should keep it. Definitely feels scummy to upgrade Shallow, but not Axel. I believe it only counts as game-winning goals in the shootout. That's why the ASP didn't. I would love communication from EA on this. Yes, it would be nice to communicate. The thing of EA can't upgrade a card and then get go back to it. They can do whatever they want, if I'm being honest with you, right? Like, is it scummy? A little bit, yeah, but they made a mistake and that shouldn't have gone to 95. And it sucks for the owners of the ASP card. But imagine he got an upgrade and they didn't intend it, and everyone that didn't have him is now like, yo, it's even worse, right? So, it's classic EA making mistakes or, not watching the game. It's probably like, oh, he got a shootout goal, but it wasn't the game winner, and that's what they were using for upgrades. And it's like, but I think that's what happened. Hey, Slaves, love these type of videos. A few questions on my team. He's got Gallery Greats Hull, Titans Joe, McDavid. I made Bork because I'm a Bruins fan, and Hull because I needed more right-handed wingers. I have enough to make one or two more Gallery Greats MSPs and was wondering who I should get. I feel like my right side is still weak compared to the other positions and could use an upgrade. I have 100k in coins, and the whole right side, besides Hull, is tradable. Maybe I wait for the next event to see who the right-handed winger options are. Thank you for all the help and the tips. Yeah, oh yeah, you definitely need more right-handers. But the only other right-hander is what, Yzerman? I would, in your situation, I'd be making Rob Blake. And then I would wait to see who comes out in the next event because there is no other right-handed winger really. Because Yzerman needs to be a centerman. Although making Yzerman to be a centerman for you to push everyone down might be a nice play, but. I'm going to put this here to see if anyone has a similar experience. I've been having a reoccurring issue in NHL 25. When playing the squad battles mode, I consistently lose connection to the EA servers in the third period, forcing me to lose all progress that had been made and waste 10 to 15 minutes. I first assumed that was my connection, but it has been consistent for months now. It is only ever the first game I play during the day, never occurs afterwards. I'm hoping this can be remedied, and I would love some sort of game compensation for what has been 6 to 7 hours of lost gameplay. Okay, this is super tinfoil hat. I remember issues with AT&T specifically and Xbox, and what would happen is every night around a certain time, you would like crash from the EA servers. This was like all year round, and it was like a poor issue on the Xbox, I think. You might be on PlayStation, you might be not have AT&T, but that is so rare that I don't know how it could be on the EA side. So the only thing I would try is to troubleshoot. If you're on Wi-Fi, go directly connected and test and see what happens. If that still happens, it's probably a poor issue or something on your internet. Because like I said, I don't know what would cause that on an individual level, man. It's so rare, especially if it's consistent. I think they should have a Hut Champs card trade-in. Like, trade-in for Hut Champs cards for a Hut Champs choice pack or something. In my opinion, how Hut Champs should work is exactly what happened last year. Every win you get an additional collectible. If you get 20, and for example, if you get 20, you should get the best card and the best pack in the game. And that would mean that if you go 20-0, which is what you should be striving for, you get the best pack, or you can save multiple weeks to get the best pack. And if you're going to give out a card, that should remain. 10 wins, you got to give it same situation, right? However, how it should work is if you're going to give a forward, give all three positions so that we're not using the exact same card. Because I'm with you here. Slaves, call me a hipster, but I don't plan on making a Gallery of Greats card purely because I don't really care for all the players, and for me, liking my players is really important. That being said, what would you recommend I do with the Gallery of Greats collectibles? Should I still go for guaranteed 86 packs for future fodder, not specifically thinking of Team of the Year, or shoot my shot on the 82 plus pack? I think that's what it is. I think it's 83. And sell the contents for coins to buy my favorite players. So, one, I respect the fact that you don't care who it is and what it is. That is awesome. More players should be like you. You would probably enjoy the game more. Secondly, if that is how you play the game, the only thing that matters is coins. Because you need to be able to buy, if let's say you're a Bruins fan and that Zdeno Chara comes out, that Protect the Net one, you can only get him via coins or packs. You need to have infinite amount of coins to be able to buy those cards, right? So I would be making the 83 plus tradable set with your Gallery Greats collectibles if you're not going to make one, so that you can get more coins to buy the cards you want. Hey, Slaves, I'm wondering if it is worth to invest in team builders or not at this point. I already made Hossa because I needed a right-handed winger. I'm about to make my third captain, and I'm wondering if I should just put those cards towards X Factors or just leave them in sets. Thanks, Slaves. Have a good one. Okay, so the issue is if you have 189, you need a second one to make a 92, right? The free cost zone abilities from the Gallery Greats event, it hammered team builders. I know we said that power up icons, it sucks for them in terms of value, but they will eventually upgrade. Team builders, man, they got smoked But it does appear that they are releasing almost panic packs because they see so few people making team builders. When you see those crazy packs come out, that's like, half price off an X Factor, things like that. I can almost guarantee you it's because they can see how many people or percentage of the player base is actually completing those sets, and they realize, holy smokes, no one's doing these. We need to do something here. Team builders is 100%. It's been impacted a number of times. Like, for example, who remembers when the team builder moments came out? That they basically gave you half of an 86 overall team builder because they realized 2 weeks into the game, no one was making them at the current cost and how they got made. What I would do is whenever they release a pack like they just did, where it's like an 86 overall for like half price for like 120K or whatever it was, buy those and then just wait. They're going to keep doing it. They're going to keep releasing those packs and stuff like that because the set fodder, it's just not worth doing it that way. But they will release packs, it looks like, that are worth the coins to do that, to finally get there. But everything else, like if you've got a lot of cards, I wouldn't work towards team builders with my cards. I would throw them into X Factors. I would. What's up, sleeves? Are team builder sets worth doing? I've been slowly adding my 77 to 79 NHL players to sets that I pull. Should I pull all these out and put them towards Icon and McDavid? I have 189 team builder for reference. Like I just mentioned, yes, you should put them towards something else. Having a B&D set is legitimately an oxymoron. Also, I will snap if they do that because I went out of my way to make Frozen Forces Kucherov, even with the B&D X Factor Kucherov, thinking I can't trade the X Factor in. I think that people aren't expecting a B&D set where you can trade that in for actual value. I think they're like a B&D set where you can store it, a storage set of them. If you could eventually trade in B&Ds, like that would be a joke. That'd be such a rug pull. I'd be stunned at that. Thinking about, should I make Hollow Wah as an Avs fan? I currently have Hollow Sundin, Hollow Iginla. I mean, if you're an Avs fan, yeah, you should. I made Askarov. I made Macklin. I made Will Smith. As someone who has been playing this game for a decade now, in terms of HUT, I know that was a bad move because those 86 overall MSPs were not even great at the time, but they're my favorite players right now. So in they went. Use your favorite players. I like how they had Frozen Forces overlap Gallery of Greats, as it gives us a chance to build some of the previous events if you don't like anyone for the new event. Hope they continue to do this. What if I told you that last year, the content team allowed us to make all of the MSPs from every single event for the entire year? Just change for the sake of change and undoing any of the good stuff that we've got over the years. Just unfortunate. Lineup question here. What should I do? I have Hull, Sakic, McDavid, Barzal, Thornton, Hossa, Coyle, Sundin, Kucherov. I also have 400K in the bank. Well, your only upgrade would be right-handed defenseman. So it's probably Blake. But with 400K, I was gonna say you could buy Kyrou, but you have such a good team, man. I probably wouldn't do much. It would be cool if the Gallery of Greats event, or any event that offers free AP for that matter, only offers the off-meta abilities. That way, the cards with meta abilities that cost AP would still have more value. Additionally, no one would use the off-meta abilities for a cost, but if they were free, it would be a cool way to try them out. It would be so fun to have some cards that had free Big Tipper, or Total Eclipse, or Magnetic, or Yoink. The list goes on and on for the Forgotten HUD abilities. It would be awesome to see them return in a way that doesn't detriment your team by having them at no cost. I agree. I do agree. I think there should be maybe a pool of abilities that you can activate for free. So like Elite Edges, Wheels, Unstoppable Force, 1T, Truculence, like those aren't in the list, but Backhand Beauty, Yoink, Off the Rush, that would be kind of interesting. Big Tipper, like that's interesting. Here we go. So sorry, you can't see it on the screen. To make the next MSPs interesting without giving them zero abilities, they should give them great chem boosts, like 2 times per chem with the choice of a few chems. It would give the value without continuing the zero AP trend. I'm assuming you mean synergies. So yeah, I mean, it's funny. Synergies are an afterthought. However, because when you get to like into the 90s, they don't matter anymore, right? Because everyone's got 99 stats. We don't think about it. They don't impact your player choices, anything like that. But I didn't realize until I did the team builder video, going back and looking at last year's team builders, the ability to mix and match synergies really increases the value of cards because those increases are really impactful early on in the game when everyone's a lower overall. So I'm with you there. Customizable 2x synergies. I don't hate that. Team of the year, for reference, usually is 3x per synergy. So they can almost activate the synergy by themselves. So that is something to think about for sure. That's going to do it for today's episode. Thank you guys again for watching. I apologize if I didn't get your question answered. Again, feel free to come into the Twitch stream and just ask your question at any time during chat. I'll answer it immediately on Twitch. Thank you guys again for watching. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.